All right, going to talk a little bit about setting up a connection between scheduled events or scheduled activities in Flybook and personal Google Calendar accounts. So I'm logged in as a personal user here that has a staff profile that is assignable to trips. So if I look here, I've got a zipline tour on Thursday and I've got a raft trip starting at 11 a.m. on Friday. So the first part you're going to want to do if you've not set up the connection yet, if I look at my Google Calendar, nothing going on this week at all. If I look back in my account, there's an option here if I hit the drop down for my user settings, and this is where you deal with staff information, user information, and then any login details. So for anybody who has not done this yet, the first step will be to creating the sign in with Google link. So for anybody that's not using this, this is a great tool, allows you to sign into the account much easier, and it is a necessary first step for creating the calendar integration. So this is going to take me through a few steps where if I want to link my Flybook login with my Google login, I can select my account. Once that's done, anytime I'm logging into the Flybook, you're going to see the option to just sign in with Google. So a great first step, again, provides benefit even outside of the calendar piece. But now that I have linked it, I have this option now that I've connected with my login where I can connect it to my Google Calendar. So still at this point, nothing's been connected yet, but if I click on here, it's going to take me through a similar step where I select the account of where I want those events to be populated in Google. So again, my Google Calendar that's tied to my personal Gmail account. You may have to go through this step where I can advance past this by showing advanced items, continue to the Flybook, and then it's going to ask me where if I want to make sure, or if I want to share my calendar permissions with this. I've already done it through the login, so I'm going to go ahead and continue that. That will set up my linking. If I refresh the page, I can now see that I have two new options there. I can first see that we have created the connection. So I'm set up for login, and now we're sharing information with the primary calendar of my personal Gmail account. But at this point, none of my existing assignments have been ported over. So if I look back at my calendar, I still don't see those two trips on Thursday and Friday scheduled, but we have created the connection. So now that I've enabled it, I can use this syncing option, which is going to grab anything that is currently assigned to me in the Flybook account and start sending those events over. Once this initial sync occurs, everything past this point is going to be automated, but you want to do this sync as the first step just to make sure anything that exists on the calendar as far as assignments when you first create that connection, making sure those are reflected on your calendar as well. I can always undo this, but at this point I've synced it, so I should be able to pop into my Google account and you'll see that there is that zip tour at 10 a.m. and then 11 a.m. on Friday I have that raft trip. So it is now mirroring my calendar events where I have the zip tour and the full day raft trip. As far as the events in Google Calendar, pretty simple. It's just going to give the name of the event and then a link back to the very detailed view that you'd get from my calendar. I'm able to see guest information, contact info, all of that good stuff, but I can see my scheduling in Google and I can link back into the full detailed view in Flybook. Now that process is much simpler now that I've enabled the Google sign-in as well. So once you've done that initial sync and you've created that connection, now everything from here on out as far as assignments should automatically show up within your Google Calendar account. And that's same goes for any updates, any rescheduling, all of that will be reflected. I shouldn't ever have to go back and use that sync option again. So if I go through and just schedule a new trip that gets assigned to me, for Bobby, let's say he's doing a zipline tour on Saturday now. And we'll go at 10 a.m. and go ahead and sign it to myself as the staff member. And then if I refresh this, so now I have a Saturday zip tour, and then just from the staff calendar, the same thing works if assignments are being made via drag and drop. So if I look at a trip on, let's say Sunday, we already have some zipline tours going on, I'll assign Ian to the 2 p.m. tour on here. So everything is updated when I look at my Flybook calendar. And then if I jump back to Google, we'll also see that 10 a.m. zip tour on Saturday and 2 p.m. zip tour on Sunday. So regardless of how staff are scheduled on there or if any updates are made to those activities in Flybook, you'll pretty quickly be able to see the results of those appear in Google Calendar.